Can you cook with ChatGPT? How's it going, guys? My name is Jason, and this is Learn, Build, Repeat. Today, I thought we'd do something a little bit different. Instead of building something, we would cook something. Here in my hand, I have a device I made in my previous video that's a wearable ChatGPT companion whose name is Greg. Greg, say hello to my YouTube audience.
Hey YouTube audience, I'm Greg, the wearable ChatGPT companion. Hope you're all doing great. What are we cooking today?
And that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna cook something. And I'm gonna use ChatGPT to help me along the way. So let's get started. First things first, I'll have to move to the kitchen where I'll be doing the cooking. All right, here we are in my kitchen. Before we get started, I just wanna share with you that I am not a cook. I barely cook. I'm not a home cook. I'm not a social media cook or anything like that. Definitely not a professional chef, that's for sure. My wife does a lot of the cooking and she's fantastic at it, but I thought that I would try and make something for her tonight with ChatGPT. She's a vegetarian, so I need to make sure I cook something that's appropriate for her. And I'm also gonna try something that's probably a little bit more complicated than I would normally do if I was just doing this myself and following a recipe. So with that in mind, let's actually talk about what we're gonna cook. I did figure this out off camera with the help of this little device right here so that I could actually get the ingredients beforehand. But all the actual cooking will be done with this device. So I'll be cooking a pan-seared salmon with a lemon herb couscous and honey glazed carrots. Yeah, I've never cooked any of those except for the salmon. I've cooked salmon before, but the rest of it I've never done. So let's get to it. All right, first things first, let's put this device on. All right, it's all snug. Okay, now let's grab the ingredients. So off camera, I did already collect everything. Carrots, salmon, couscous. I'm not sure why that was in the fridge. A bunch of herbs, a bunch more herbs. All right, I've got all the ingredients here. So, Greg, do you know what I'm cooking?
Based on the ingredients you've gathered, it looks like you're preparing a pan-seared salmon with lemon herb couscous and honey glazed carrots. Sounds delicious. How can I assist you with the cooking process?
Greg, I'm gonna want you to essentially walk me through everything I need to do.
Absolutely. Happy to guide you step by step. Here we go. For the pan-seared salmon, 1. Take the salmon out of the fridge and let it rest at room temperature for about 15 minutes. 2. Season both sides with salt and pepper and any other spices you like.
All right, Greg, that's a lot. Let's go through it step by step. What is the very first thing I should do?
The very first thing to do is prep your salmon since it will take the longest to come to room temperature. Here's how to start. 1. Take the salmon out of the fridge. 2. Pat the salmon dry with a paper towel. 3. Let it rest on the counter to come to room temperature, about 15 minutes.
All right, Greg, I'm letting the salmon rest now. What should I do with the couscous? Let's start with that.
Great choice. While the salmon is resting, let's start on the couscous because it's pretty straightforward and can sit for a bit once it's done. For the lemon herb couscous, 1. Measure out your couscous and the liquid you will be using. Water or vegetable broth works well, according to the package instructions.
All right, let's do that. Okay, again, Greg, sorry, what was the very first thing on the couscous? Very first thing, one thing at a time.
No problem, let's take it one step at a time. The very first thing to do with the couscous is 1. Measure the correct amount of liquid, water or vegetable broth as per your couscous package instructions and bring it to a boil in a pot.
Okay, so I need 1.5 cups of water. So that will make 1 cup of couscous. All right, Greg, the water's boiling for the couscous. What do I do with the herbs? I have mint, I have basil, and I have parsley.
For 2 servings, you won't need a lot of mint. Just a tablespoon of finely chopped mint should be enough to infuse the couscous with flavor without overwhelming. Remember, herbs are potent, especially mint, so it's best to start with a little and add more to taste after mixing it into the couscous.
Honestly, it looks pretty good. I think I burnt a few of them, but not bad. The glaze looks fantastic. Let's try it. Hot, but good. Oh. And okay, so I got the salmon here. Greg, how do I prep the salmon?
That's awesome that the carrots turned out so well. Now, for prepping the salmon, you'll want to 1. If you haven't already, make sure it's been rinsed under cold water and patted dry with paper towels to remove excess moisture. 2. Next, let the salmon reach room temperature for even cooking. This should take around 15 minutes if you haven't done this step already. 3. Once the salmon is at room temperature, season it with salt and pepper on both sides. You can also add other seasonings or a light rub if you like.
Greg, do I start the salmon skin side down? Answer briefly.
Yes, start skin side down.
Alright, we have to wait 3 to 4 minutes. I'll see you then. Okay, the salmon should be just about done. At least I'm hoping it's almost done. Honestly, I'm not good at cooking fish, so we'll see. Oh shit. Okay, the salmon just broke in half. Good thing though, because it wasn't quite cooked. So we're gonna let it cook for a little bit more. All right, we have the plates right here, so let's just throw everything on the plate and hopefully make it look good somehow. Maybe I'll use this thing to help. Greg, when I'm plating a plate, do I start with like the vegetables and the carrots, or should I just put the salmon on first?
Start with couscous and vegetables, then top with the salmon for a nice presentation.
Greg, should the salmon go on the couscous, or should they go separate?
The salmon can go on top of the couscous for a lovely layered look, or serve them side by side if you prefer distinct sections of the plate.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with the salmon next to the couscous. It just feels better to me. Alright, there they are. Alright, let me show you now. There you have it. Salmon with lemon herb couscous and honey glazed carrots. Okay, my wife is just about to come home from work and I'm gonna surprise her with this dinner actually. So let's see what she does when she sees it. I made you dinner! Look!
I smell it.
What is this? What does it smell like?
Salmon?
Okay, let's try it out. Wait for me. The plate's really hot, by the way.
Can you talk me through what we have here?
Okay, so we have couscous, like a lemon herb couscous paired with salmon. Oh, I can't do this. Okay, so we have lemon herb couscous paired with salmon and honey glazed carrots.
So Brendan, can we just say herb?
Is that what people say?
Well, that's what you said. I say herb, not herb.
And I hope it tastes good. The couscous could be a little better, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't love the couscous.
You know, I really like the carrots.
The carrots are really good, yeah.
The carrots are fantastic.
I was honestly the most worried about the carrots, but they're really good. And the salmon's crispy.
Mm-hmm. They told me to make sure it was dry, and then you put the salt and pepper on to make it crust, so.
The cook's pretty good on it.
Thank you. Okay, honestly, the couscous kind of like absorbs a little bit of the flavor from the carrots. Did you notice that? And it actually tastes pretty good.
No, I'm gonna be honest, this is like maybe the worst couscous I've ever had, but.
Okay, well, she is an expert, so.
Not good. It kind of tastes like oatmeal.
That's pretty harsh. But the carrots are good, right?
Like oatmeal with no sugar or...
So it told me to put like herbs and stuff on them. And add some like lemon. So yeah. I did, but it seemed to like disappear, like the flavor disappeared, like it absorbed it.
I feel like this is a weird couscous texture too, like, I don't know, and like it's not normally quite like this.
Yeah, okay, fair, that's fair.
I don't know, I feel like the cook method was maybe not quite right, but yeah, I really like the carrots, like I said, and the salmon's good.
Okay.
One of the better salmons you've cooked.
Yeah. You hear that, guys? I did a good job, except for the couscous. Okay, I'm eating the salmon, and I'm a little bit surprised how good the cook is. Check that out. Not bad for ChatGPT. Me and my wife just finished dinner, and we both agree that those carrots were fantastic. And they actually paired really well with the salmon. That's not a combination I thought would have worked well. In fact, I didn't really think that carrots like that even existed. This definitely kind of like helps expand my cooking horizon, considering I don't cook very much at all. I like a little bit of the salmon, but that's about it. Fortunately, the couscous on that plate was just a total disaster. Like, I don't know what I did wrong, but it was just terrible. It kind of absorbed some of the flavor from the carrots, but even then it wasn't that great. But overall, I thought it was actually a pretty big success. And it kind of like encourages me to do a little bit more cooking, because I know I have this guy with me all the time, and he could just tell me all these ideas, or he can help me figure out the right amount, he can figure out how the right duration, the right temperature. It's actually pretty useful. So let's sum this up. First, I'm gonna take this guy off. So Greg, we're at the end of our video. You're talking to my YouTube audience. Do you wanna say anything to them?
Hey YouTube audience, it's been quite the culinary adventure today. I hope you enjoyed following along with the cooking process and seeing how a little guidance can result in a delicious meal. Remember, cooking is all about experimenting, learning, and of course, enjoying some tasty results, like those amazing honey glazed carrots. Keep curious and keep cooking. Until next time.
Wow, this thing's amazing. It knows that I like the honey glazed carrots most of all. Anyway, if you guys like this stuff, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.